All right, I want to welcome everybody to this live of Nah. This is our first and certainly not our last podcast that's going to go live. One of the things that we want to make sure you all do is pay attention to what's down at the bottom of the screen because this information is going to be very important. Comrades at notallhood.com. This is where we want to hear from you. You're going to hear why in a moment. Malcolm Jamal Warner is on his way onto the show. Listen, life is happening behind the scenes. So that is what we are dealing with right now. All right, let me look at some notes here. We want to get some comments. We want to get some comments here for anybody who is watching live. I know we heard from Tommy Reed earlier. Thank you very much. Says that I love you guys podcast. We certainly appreciate that, certainly very much. You know, I think that one of the things that's important about Not All Hood is that we are talking about issues where Black folks are not a monolith, right? We know that there's so many versions of us that are out there, but we're inundated with images in the media. We're inundated with images that are out there that are telling us different, especially when we're going through this kind of collective trauma that is out here. It is good to talk about being ourselves, being who we are, in a way that is not portrayed on the media, which a lot of you might say, what is the media anyway? You know what the media is? The media is us right here. The media is the 4 million podcasts that are out there, but we're beating a lot of them. The truth is, this is the platform where people really get to express themselves. And so that's why we appreciate this, because of people like you who are out there, of people who are just out there supporting us. Write us in our comment section. Another thing that I want to remind people, I'm not sure if we just got on, this is our first live podcast. So if there are any technical issues, please forgive us. We mean well, and we have been working through all of this all day. Our super producers, Troy Harris and Lane Fontes, are also behind the scenes. So we want to thank you for that too. This is no easy feat. We produce a podcast every month. We go through a lot of people, a lot of information, and this is why I am so excited. Sylvia Kimbrough, hi Candace. That's what she has written. Good to see you. Sylvia, so far it's me and you, kid, on these comments. So good to see you. We'd love to hear any of your thoughts about the podcast. So certainly continue to write me. We got you and Tommy, Sylvia, and a lot of people who may not be reading at this time. But I was saying that we love going through just the energetic guest list that we just choose from is such a big deal because there are always so many wonderful people. In spite of what's going on in the news, in spite of all the madness, in spite of all the firings, in spite of the IRS practically disappearing on us, even though some of you may not mind that. Life is still happening, right? February, Black History Month. But here's what we know. It's not just a month. It's not just a moment. It's more than a movement, actually. It's the history of who we are. So when we think about this show, when we produce this show, this is what we like to think about in those particular ways. It's something that we are living every single day and fighting to be in the history books. We're fighting to be a part of it all. So that's why I know, and I see Malcolm just joined, that's why I know you like it too, because we've got this collective trauma that's going on out in the real world, but we are telling a different story. We have a different narrative, right, Malcolm?
Hey, can you hear me? Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Yes, we hear that. Test 1 2. Sylvia's been with us. Sylvia's saying I was on Instagram and I couldn't hear. All right, Sylvia, thank you for that note because we want to make sure that everybody
That's
does
Sylvia.
hear us.
That's Sylvia Kimbrough.
Yeah. Is that someone you know, Malcolm?
That's the homie. That's the homie.
Hi, Malcolm. I miss you. Okay.
That's the homie.
Yeah. Malcolm, I'm liking that shirt you have on.
Great minds think alike. I see.
Look at that.
Nice. There you go. There you go. That's the nah. That's the official. What is this?
It's official if it has that. Otherwise, I don't know where y'all got your shirts.
Hey, but I know where you can get your shirts.
We know where we can get the shirts. Listen, I haven't made the big announcement, but I have certainly set it up, Malcolm, where folks know, we're going to be doing some good things, and it involves them, the audience.
Yeah. So first of all, so this whole campaign kind of started when there was this controversy about Black History Month being taken away or being canceled, if you will. And I remember sending out a post and really thanking the federal government for even bringing that up, because there's always been an issue with Black History just being a month. So
Mm,
we took it upon ourselves to celebrate Black History Month 12 times a year.
hello. Yes.
Our as the T-shirt says, our Black History is more than just a month. So our plan is to do these lives weekly and talk about Black history, um, Black historical figures, but also we want to acknowledge people in the present as well, people who are doing things, not necessarily people in the media, not necessarily famous people, but we want to hear from you. We
That's
want
right.
we want to get people that you think need to be acknowledged, that you feel need to be acknowledged. We have a email address running. I see it
Yeah,
somewhere.
comrades at
Comrade.
notallhood.com. If you write there, we want to hear those rich stories that Malcolm is talking about. Listen, you may
And
not
who we
have,
and who we need to celebrate, like
and
people
who,
in
that's
that
right.
you are aware of, that we may not be aware of, that we should celebrate. So we definitely want to get your participation and involvement in that.
Exactly, exactly. And you don't have to have 1,000 followers, 10,000 followers, 50,000. Somebody may be doing something out there in the community that's really affecting people, but we don't hear it because of these news cycles. We don't hear it because if it bleeds, it leads, right? So there are people who are out there who don't want to be caught up in this trauma, in this news cycle, and we're here to change it.
And I think we tend to lean on and depend on again a an official celebration of who
Right.
we are, when actually we can take it upon ourselves and celebrate ourselves, not wait for someone else to give us permission and a time slot to celebrate us. We want to take this time to, again, not just celebrate those who have gotten us where we are in present day, but the future history makers, if you will.
Absolutely.
The people who are making a difference, who are touching lives. And we just want to we want to be able to have space and make space to be able to shine light on those people.
Absolutely. And there is empowerment through awareness when we know what's going on in our community, when we
Yeah.
celebrate our own, when we're able to collectively come together. You mentioned that we're going to be doing live events. We have done some sold out live events, one with Raheem Devon. We're continuing in that same vein. So people should look for those announcements. We're going to be doing something in Atlanta, probably in May. That will all be announced in the future. But this kind of empowerment through awareness and this collective thought energy that we're going to bring together, it's important for everybody to sit together and understand who they are by exchanging information with each other. We talk about a lot of imports and exports with these different countries and tariffs, but the biggest export and import that we have right now is information, right? and,
Yeah.
and we are a part of that cycle. And listen, part of me hates that we are so timely to have to talk about Black issues in a way where we're not worrying about being um, gaslit or have to do all this reality checking. But here we are. Here we are in our shirts, and we just want people to join along and be a part of the conversation. Join the conversation, as we
Really
say.
right. And we appreciate those of you who have been tuning into the to our podcast and subscribing and downloading and commenting and watching and supporting. Um, and for those of you who have not yet joined the Comrade family, we put out Not All Hood last year. So we're coming up on we're going to do it as Candace said, we are going to do a big 1 year anniversary live event that we will give you more information on very soon. But we dropped the first episode last June, and really the point of what we're wanting to do with the podcast was to have a space where we could acknowledge, embrace, and really be able to talk about all of the different lanes of the Black community. Oftentimes when people speak of the Black community, they tend to refer to the Black community as if we're a monolith. And of course, as we all know, there are so many lanes and so many facets to the Black community. So our podcast has really been celebrating Blackness, celebrating all lanes of Blackness, if you will. So this seemed to be timely. It made sense. Initially, we were going to put the first episode out last year for Black History Month, and we decided to, not rush it. We want to take a little bit of time to, spend, just working out the kinks and making sure we got it right. So here we are, this Black History Month, and it just made sense to kind of continue what we do anyway with regard to celebrating Blackness.
That's right. That's right. Listen, I want to say hello to Yamani. I hope I'm saying her name right, but Yamani, tell a friend or even tell us who are some of the people that should be on with us live. Who else is on here? Sylvia and Tasha. Who are some of the people that you think should be on here live? Because that's who we are celebrating. The people who they might be in your office. They might be on your street, right? They might be
in
a
your
neighbor.
home.
It might be right. You might be looking at them right now, right after dinner. So we want to hear those people at Comrades at Not All Hood. Now I know somebody said, "Hey, I can't wait to get this merch." This is part of the movement, right? We know that people like to show people who they are out in the public, and here we are. What does it say? Actually,
Black History, more than a month.
That's right. Black History, more than a month. If you want this, now we practice this website. Who's gonna nail it? You should go to.
You should go to www.notallhoodmerch.shop.
That's right. And look, it can be done without the www in 2024.
That's true.
but you're right. If you put that in there, you'll still get
dot shop, not dot merch. Dot shop, not .com.
Okay, right. It's notallhoodmerch.shop.
Yeah.
There we go. So
there's actually there's a bunch of merch, but we're going to we just added these t-shirts to the merch shop because that's how we're going to be rolling, and you'll see us with these t-shirts in different colors to coincide with different months, but we're going to be rocking these all year because again, the t-shirt says Black History, it's more than a month.
That's right. And it's funny. And I don't want to mention, the White House and their celebration of Black History Month, though I've now mentioned it. I just don't want to delve into it, but take it for what it's worth. It is good to be able to recognize what Black folks are doing in our own way. And that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah. Again, we don't need performative recognition.
Right.
Again, we won't go all into that White House event, but what we are doing is from a more organic and heartfelt place, if you will.
Yeah.
Right? We're really about not just educating our audience, but also educating us. Like, we're not just gonna go through the obvious historical figures, though we will recognize some that we know, but our point is to really dive deep and really highlight and recognize the Black history that we don't know, that we're not familiar with. So it's going to be an educational journey for us as well.
Absolutely. And you know what I love about this the most is that we do get to interact with the Yamanis and with the Tashas, who can tell us kind of live how they are feeling. That's what I love about a live audience too. When we did that show with Raheem Devon in New Jersey back in September, it was good to hear from audience members. And what was amazing was that people wanted to talk. We still are kind of post-COVID-y, you know what I mean? Not everybody has gone out to everything that they would have gone out to in 2019. So we just appreciate that people even got up, got dressed, came. But what was clear was that they wanted their voices to be heard. And that is what I love about the live events. I also want to make sure that people know about Patreon. We do a lot of recordings, but there's just a lot of information that doesn't make the recording. And those behind the scene things are they're a good thing. They're fun. I mean, it's like people kind of lean back and they relax and they give you a little more.
My daughter just handed to. So I always talk about my beautiful family. My daughter
Yes.
7, she's an artist, but she wanted to make sure that I showed her latest. Can you even read it to you?
Oh, okay. Wait. Let me big this up. Not, you know what? You know what? I love it.
Oh man, yeah,
She's got the 2 colors and everything.
yeah, she's on it.
You are
She's
on
on
the
it.
case. We
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate that. We should, you know what?
Thank you, my love.
We might have use for that. We got to get permission from her parents to actually fully use it in the stream of commerce.
Hey,
But I like that.
it's about to be a T-shirt.
I know, right? It's about to be a T-shirt. Oh, thank you to your daughter.
Thank
We
you, my
really
love.
appreciate that. Yes. Give her our love over there.
Yeah,
Um,
man. I think
but yeah,
there's something, and I hadn't thought about this, but I like the proactive nature of what we're doing, right? 'Cause, like
yes.
I wasn't necessarily thinking about my daughter when we were decided to roll out this series. Which again, the plan is to do this do this live every Monday. But I'm just thinking just how organically this affects the people in our lives pretty directly. Like I'm looking at my daughter, like yeah, she's going to see me doing the homework because this is going to require homework if we're not going to do the the standard Black historical figures and events. So she's going to see me doing homework for this, and that's obviously going to trickle down to her as well, because what I'm learning she's going to be interested in. So I just got another level of excitement.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think too, and by the way, hey Devin, hey TC Town C, you're gonna have to explain that to me, but hey, we appreciate you being here today. Listen, if you don't know the charge, that is write us at comrades at notallhood.com. We want to know about those people in your community that you think deserve to be on this live show. We're going to be doing this to highlight folks that, again, are not celebrities, not getting coverage. Might be someone in your own home who's just killing it in something. We want to highlight that in the midst of everything that's going on in 2025, as I've been calling it, this collective trauma that we are
Right, no
experiencing.
doubt, no doubt.
We're gonna break it when we're on here. We're gonna do some good work with good people, only highlighting good things that we are doing.
And I want to correct. I said we're doing this every Monday. We're doing this once a month.
I was like, maybe that's a meeting I missed. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a meeting that I missed.
It's a lot of homework.
I was like, look,
Yeah.
maybe he's doing it every week.
Yeah.
I may not be there, but you gonna do it every week. That's what
We'll be doing the homework every week.
Yes,
but we'll be
yes.
doing this live once a month, because again,
Once
the point is we're celebrating Black History Month 12 times a year.
Yes, right? No, absolutely. Listen, I also want to tell people that, listen, if you are the first of 20 people to write us at comrades at Not All Hood, you can become a Patreon member, and you're going to, the first 20 people will get exclusive access. We've got a lot of behind the scenes footage. I love it when our guests come on, slightly a little buttoned up sometimes. Then we're like, hey, this is for behind the scenes. And they lean back. They give you a little more information, which I'm always like, why didn't you just say that in the show? But that's okay. We've got Patreon where folks can get on there and they can just get that information. A lot of good stuff. We have not released any of it yet. So this is really a time where we're also building up Patreon. Again, first 20 people to write us at comrades at Not All Hood, they are going to get that exclusive access that will get you behind the scenes. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes. There's video, there's a newsletter, There's all types of stuff. There's a book club. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're part of that.
And and I also want to say, well, first, I got to give a quick shout out to Clarissa. I love you too, Clarissa. Um,
Okay.
but I want to just shout out and say thank you to to those of you who have tuned in. When we first start the podcast, I don't even know 100% of what I was thinking and what our sites were on this, right? Like we just thought,
You are really giving up the behind the
let's
scenes.
do right, like let's do this podcast. It'd be a cool little thing. But it's grown and turned into something much bigger
Yeah.
than I don't know about you, Candace, but much bigger than what I expected. I I didn't realize how much the conversation was needed,
Yeah.
and so much of
Yeah.
the feedback that we get from from people who tap in is they all say the most common response is thank you, these are conversations that we need to have.
Yeah.
And I just want to say thank you to you guys for really bringing that to our attention,
Absolutely.
understanding, giving us an understanding of how much there is a need for what we do with not all hood, because it
Yeah.
wasn't. I don't know. Again, I don't know what I was thinking, but I did not think it was gonna turn into what it's turned into.
Yeah, yeah. Well, listen. You definitely were thinking the right thing. And I think that we have seen it morph because of where we are in this society, and because how people are just feeling on a day to day, right?
Yeah,
To be
yeah,
back in America, even before whoever was voted president, or any socio political type of things that were going on, you still want to talk about who you are because that validates your existence. And I see all of these people and all their different ways that they are living, you know, really be validated. And also, we can find out about people in a way that we don't see before. So, Stacey Abrams is a great example. If y'all haven't watched that show, watch that show. You think it's
yeah,
going to be about politics? It is not.
yeah,
Though a lot of people might say love has a lot to do with politics, but it's a show about
especially
love.
Black love.
Exactly, especially black
Yeah,
love. But see,
yeah,
when he says black love, then it becomes politics because he's got a whole theory on that. But watch
yeah.
the show. He
Yeah,
talks.
but I will say that that conversation with Stacey and I asked, what is Black love,
Yeah,
really out of a genuine, out of a genuine, it was genuine curiosity.
yeah,
And if you've, some of you, if you watched the show, tuned in, especially from the very beginning, I have a thing about when we put Black in front of something, whether it's because then it tends to feel like it's a subpart, or it's treated as a subpart of the thing.
hmm
So I was, the whole idea of Black love, I wasn't sure how much I really rocked with that, but I just asked her, like, what's the difference between love and Black love? and
right.
and Stacey's response is really the first time that made me go, okay,
hmm
yeah,
hmm
I could rock with that.
Yeah. So
But I
you got a
think,
lot of those moments.
yeah, but yeah, I think there is on some level, even Black love is political in terms
Yeah,
of what what it takes for Black love to exist and thrive.
that's
And
right.
you know
Yeah, and that thrive is the key point. But you make a very good point because if we take black off of Black History Month, that really is the essence of what we're talking about. You actually don't need black. We are history. So
yeah.
I have made your point for you there. I don't know about some other areas, but when we talk about Black History Month, you're right. You take off that black, we are history.
Yeah, man.
We built this country. It was on the backs of our forefathers and mothers that we are here.
Yeah, I mean, Black
Not just
history is
us, everybody in America.
yeah, but Black history it is American history, so we really don't need we don't need a month.
Right, right,
And the Black history is not something, it's not a subset,
right.
right? We think of and that Black history tends to be taught as a subset of history, right? It's segmented, but Black history is American history.
Black history is American history.
Slavery gets put into Black history, but slavery is white history. Slavery is American history. So I'm actually excited about taking this charge and taking this lead and really um, redefining and reshaping the way we look at our history.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that brings me to this whole point of when we redefine and reshape ourselves, we actually come up with often solutions to what we are trying to find answers to. It's often within us. It's often within a collective. It's also within a community, right, of people who can come together and say, this is what we need to be doing. It's kind of like, the churches and the barber shops. We get together and oftentimes things are figured out. And that's what I see this community as, if you will, this listen, it's like a collaboration with the public, right? Which is why, again, we are opening it up to hear from people to say, hey, put some shine on this person. You haven't heard them. Because it's certainly not going to be in the news, right? It's certainly, especially with what's going on in the news. Hello, Joy Reid. We know that when they start pulling people who have information that's so important that people want to hear, that's when platforms like this become even more important. Okay. And if, not to digress, but if Joy and everybody else who might be moving and shaking at MSNBC, ultimately, I don't know if she'll be removed. I know that her show was taken away, but we know that people navigate to where we are right now online. So that's another important thing that I want to make sure to acknowledge, that we're here for a reason. It makes sense. This is where news is happening. You and I were talking earlier about how podcasts and being online, that is the news these days.
It's crazy. Yeah.
This is the news. Yeah.
And a lot of news, you don't even know where, what to trust or where to go.
I'm telling you, you got to get your mental health and well-being together if you want to get on Twitter these days. Lord have mercy.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to these lives, and I'm looking forward to engaging and shining light on people all over who need some light, and some love. So we'll see you next month with this, but I am excited and looking forward to, this is the intro show. So I'm looking forward to, as we curate this series and, you being a big part of what we're going to do. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here next month.
Yeah. Come back, everybody. Devin, TC Town, Sylvia. Come on back and tell
I'm doing this whole thing without my glasses, right? So like we're talking, I see I see these days with oh wow, look at that. Oh, those just aren't words, those are actually names.
Those are actually, you know what? Yeah, I don't need glasses.
Look at you. Look at you.
Oh no. No, I couldn't do without my contacts. You and I roll in the same group. Hey, listen. So thank you, everybody. We look forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, and for those of you who have not subscribed, have not listened, have not checked us out, we love this. We would love the support. We're trying to get to 100,000 followers on YouTube, and we just really want to get the word spread. If you've not checked out the podcast, I think we're at 17, 18, I think 18 episodes in now.
Yeah. Yep.
And really, I'm really proud of, and I'll say in a very, honest and vulnerable moment, I'm really proud of the show that we've put together. I'm really proud of the support that we've gotten from everyone, and I'm really looking forward to the journey for our Not All Hood podcast.
That's right. Here we go.
Right. Yeah.
Here we go.
There you go.
That's right.
Not all hood. All right, folks. We'll see you soon. Appreciate you guys tapping in, and let's do this again next month.
All right.
Happy Black History.
Exactly. More than just a month.
Word. All right. Peace and love, you guys. Henry Louis Gates says there are 42 million black people in America. Therefore, there are 42 million ways of being black.
We are not a monolithic people. We come in all different shades, sizes, everything.
For me, Black excellence is the upgrade to any level of excellence.
It looks like a family who is beautiful and proud of being together, that have degrees or no degrees.
I like that it's creativity. I like that it's self-expression. I like that it's radical at times.
It's in our DNA.
There we go.
And because we've been through so much and endured so much, and
we gonna go through some things, but we don't stay in it, you know. And
the intensive labor to educate you about the systems your ancestors built is not always my obligation.
I promise you, you will love it. Comrades, join the community.